Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time, I'm going to be doing some Masterpiece compared to G1, continuing that series. And first of all, I want you to like, subscribe, dislike if you don't like it. Tell me what you do and don't like if you want to see more of these. But I plan on doing a few others like Swoop. I plan on doing Soundwave and some of my favorites figures that are out there. And getting into this is going to show you this new MMC figure, and I'm going to show you compared to G1, and then of course all of the other Ravages that I have. I want to start by talking about the G1 figure itself, which looks really cool. This was one of my favorite Transformers back in the day. In fact, I didn't get them in the store. I missed them and had to get them secondhand, garage sale, traded a friend or something like that. But I also have these over here. These are more of my G1 figures. I have struggled with getting them all to stand up, and then some of them are missing parts, and I have these parts ones to put on them so I can finish out their parts and just take pieces from this. But it's a little bit more challenging than I thought it would be to change these parts because they're not just all screwed in, they're riveted. So G1 stuff all has real easy transformations. I'm not big on online or whatever, on-camera transformations. I kind of suck at those, but even with G1 stuff, because it can sometimes give me some trouble. And I think this one, that's probably not the best one to show you that what it looks like in cassette form. Boom, there he is in his cassette mode, and it looks like an actual cassette from back in the day, but it's not the same size as a cassette. And the MMC one is the same size as an actual cassette. So the whole reason that they did this was so that you could put it, I don't even know what this is a knockoff or something, in your Soundwave figure. And slide her in there, and then if your figure doesn't fall apart on you, pop it in there, eject. So that's that whole gimmick. So I really like the Ravage. It was called Jaguar in the Japanese market. And then, so that was what we got as a kid. We got a couple of reissues and stuff like that. But then comes along the Classics Generation. So that's the next time I saw one of these available. So here is the Classics Generations version. And it's a much more complicated transformation. And if you're to compare it, let's take these off and compare it without the missiles. And then you've got more of a 3D aspect, and it still transforms and collapses down into a cassette that will fit in Soundwave's chest. So I really thought this was cool. And in fact, this is why I bought a Hound back in the day. And I wouldn't have bought Hound if it didn't come with this. I would have just never bought the Classics Generations Hound unless it had this. Now, one more cool thing is you could put the G1 guns in it. Now, they engineered this so that you could do that, and I thought it was pretty cool. And so you've got the guns in the Classics version, and it looks really good. So the next one I want to talk about is the Masterpiece one that came with the Masterpiece Soundwave. And I gotta say that I dropped it, that it looks a lot better. I mean, it still feels really small for a Masterpiece, but just the engineering that went into it and just how good it looks on the shelf, it looks great. And then, of course, you've got the gimmick. The gimmick carried forward into the fact that you could still put this guy, G1 weapons. Well, that's what I heard. Guess not. Edit that part out. Though, but I was really impressed with the fact that with the Masterpiece, it brought in the guns were built into it. But I was pretty sure you could still fit one in there. Somebody had shown how you could do that. Maybe you have to modify the weapon. Somebody had done that. Anyway, this is really cool. It looks great. You can get a lot of awesome poses out of it. So the next one I want to show you is the KO Oversized. And so the KO Oversized one, I bought some Soundwaves that were oversized before Soundwave Masterpiece one ever came out. And it took the spot on my Masterpiece shelf, if you want to say that. He was about 9 inches. And I might do a review on that guy, but I think it was pretty cool. And the fact that you got all this beautiful, glistening, back metallized, beautiful silver there. But he's bigger, and he transforms about the same. But his feet don't have the same level of articulation. They're just, so it's really hard to make this guy stand. Almost impossible to make this guy stand. I can do it, but it's not super easy. Has pretty much the same deco, the paint scheme. So really, I thought it was pretty cool. It wasn't bad. I mean, I think I paid $20 for it or something for the whole set. The next Ravage I want to talk about is this guy here. This came, I think this came with a set that was sold with the Soundwave. And so it was the classic generation Soundwave, and it was like down the road, and he turned into some sort of dune buggy looking thing. I thought that part was stupid, but the fact that you could fit 2 or 3 of these discs in, and here's the gimmick: it transforms on its own. Okay, whatever. But then it doesn't really transform on its own, because then you have to finish it out with putting his legs down, and so you still have to finish transforming it. So, like, the gimmick sounded great before you realize you're still having to transform it, and I think there's a tail that you have to pull out, and then he looks like this. And then he looks almost like a dog, and not so much like Ravage. But well, I completely gave up on this line at all, and then I saw this, and I was like, I gotta have this. Now I have all of them, but whatever. This was a cool gimmick. If they could have pulled it off a little bit better, I would have been more impressed. So next I want to talk about these movie Ravages, and I never really went after them, but I'd see them at a garage sale for 10 cents a quarter or whatever, and I'd buy them. And then I think I appreciate them more than the people that spent the 15 bucks on them. So a little chomping action there. But it doesn't really do anything. I don't think it even transforms into anything. It's just there. It's Megatron's pet in the movies. It's not, or maybe Soundwave's pet. Who knows? I couldn't really tell who was talking and what was going on and who was what in those movies. So, thanks, Michael Bay. But anyway, I still think these look cool. I'm still a fan of Ravage, and well, for less than $1, I have these 3 because I would not have spent a whole $1 each on them. I'm still happy that I have them. It's still pretty cool. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of what is going on here. So far, the best Ravage around. This one is the MMC. And it's not Ocular Max or anything like that. But this is basically taking the take of the Masterpiece, scaling it up, and then making it look and operate better. It's heavy. It's got some heft to it. When it came out, and for like $70, I said, no way! I'm not spending $70 on an oversized tape that won't fit into Soundwave, and it looks too big for me. And once I started watching some reviews and hearing people talk about how wonderful it was, I said, well, you know what? Maybe I'll pick one up, and the price jumped through the roof to, I don't even know, $150, $200, $250, I don't know. So when they re-released it, I picked one up, and they're going to, and then I also learned my lesson, and I went ahead and got me one of the Rumbles, the blue one, and I thought that's an awesome figure too. I might even get the red one. I don't really care about the birds, but I'll probably end up getting them. And I think as they re-release them, they'll get a little bit cheaper here and there. But anyway, the fact that it still maintained the fact that you had the guns integrated, just like you do with the Masterpiece. And he's bigger, he's more ominous, and he looks more cartoon accurate. And I haven't even put the stickers on him yet. But I'm pretty impressed with this. So I'm looking to see what else we're going to get out of this Ocular Max. And so what Ocular Max figure do you think? Which tape should they do? Do you think they should do all of the main ones that we had? I don't know, I guess the ram horns for Blaster, the steel jaws. Got some steel jaws or something like that. I just keep my tapes in a box, and I keep the weapons somewhere else. But this is kind of how I do my collecting on this bit. And that way I can kind of keep track of how many of each I've got, because I start forgetting. And I started forgetting which ones I'm missing too, so I got to go through and check that out. But anyway, wrap this up here. This one here is the Japanese version of Ravage in the Titans Returns, and you get an actual figure with it. You get a headmaster with it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I ended up snagging this up for like $12. I mean, these usually cost way more than the local ones. I mean, it's a $10 figure that I paid $12 for. So anyway, but I still, it's okay. It's cool. It transforms into a data square disc thing that you put into the newer Soundwave's chest. But it's much closer to G1, and I like that. And it's just something I have. I don't see myself playing with it or messing with it. My kid has I guess it's a steel jaw or something. I don't know. It's a different colored version, yellow one. But anyway, tell me if you like this. Tell me if you what requests you have for any figures that you'd like to see, Masterpiece versus G1, and let me know. Hanger out.